This is the very tragic story of Hadiza Oboh, who was a Nigerian pilot and the first and only female pilot for the now defunct Nigerian Airways, whose life was cut short by the very people she fed, clothed, and trusted with her own life. Hadiza has always been drawn to the skies. As a young girl growing up in Nigeria, she would stare at airplanes cutting through the clouds, dreaming of the day that she too will soar above the earth. At a time where few African women dared to dream of aviation, she pushed her passion with relentless determination. Breaking barriers, she became a pilot for the Nigerian Airways, the first woman to do so. Hadiza was a single, rich and glamorous lady, and away from work, she lived a private life in her home at Bodilon Road, Ikoyi, Lagos. It was her sanctuary, a place where she could unwind from the pressures of her groundbreaking career. But it was within these very walls that her life met a tragic and unjust end. On that fateful day, at about 8 p.m. February 8, 1998, Captain Hadiza arrived home, where both of her domestic staffs, Abdullahi the gateman and Peter her gardener, were waiting to welcome her. After entering her home and settling in, she was very hungry, so she went to the kitchen to prepare something to eat. But unknown to her, the two men were already planning her demise. They snuck into her home through the kitchen, and there they found her. They immediately pounced on her, strangling her with a rope. And after struggling for a while, she was finally unalived. The two men dumped her body in the septic tank in the house and cemented it again. The plan was to loot the house, moving all foreign currency, gadgets, golds, and so on. But interestingly, they did not run away. Instead, they turned away every visitor that came to look for Hadiza with these words, "Madam, don't travel." However, a senior police officer who was Hadiza's neighbor suspected foul play and decided to question and investigate the domestic staff. During the investigation, her body was discovered in the septic tank. The culprits were arrested and charged to court. But an unfortunate event happened after this. Later on, both men were granted bail, and both men and their shorties disappeared into thin air. Apparently, they had given fake addresses and fake names, so they were nowhere to be found. So till this day, Hadiza has not gotten justice. The news sent shockwaves across Nigeria. How could a woman who had defied all odds to achieve greatness be taken in such a senseless manner? Her death was not just a personal loss, but a national tragedy, an abrupt and violent end to the life that had symbolized hope and possibility. Hadiza was just 39 years old when her life was tragically taken away from her. But despite the horror of her unaliving, Hadiza Oboh's legacy could not be erased. She remains a trailblazer, an icon of perseverance and excellence in aviation. Her name became a beacon for young women aspiring to take the skies, proving that dreams, no matter how ambitious, were worth fighting for.